is President's Day. Jables.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite president? Again, Donald John Trump withstanding. You got to pick because we don't know.
Choose him.
He's only been in for a couple weeks. So
right.
You
so
can't choose him.
I can't choose him. Even if I wanted to, I can't. Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Is that?
Well, no,
I guess
in your lifetime, that's
like what I go off of is like what your parents said, like how they felt about it, because at that time they were the ones like more affected
by presidents,
right?
correct?
So it was like they missed Clinton.
Sure. No, I get that.
For me, and he was pimpy.
He was pimpy as fuck. Is it weird that I still go back to DDL? Daniel Day-Lewis playing Lincoln, and that's like how I hoped Lincoln was. So
Lincoln,
yeah, Abraham Lincoln's my favorite. A little known fact about me: the longest paper, which actually kind of got me into writing, and probably made me the man I am today. I had to write a high school paper about Abraham Lincoln. Like a book report. So I had to read this biography on Abraham Lincoln. And I think that set me down the road of like, because you know me, I like documentaries. I only like to read biographies. I don't like to read.
And you like historical
piece. Yeah. So I would say a hard Lincoln. I would say a hard Lincoln is my.
Are we calling him hard?
Well,
hard Lincoln?
Is that not the correct terminology I'm using? Is that?
You'll take a hard Lincoln?
I'll take a hard Lincoln any day.
Sounds like some kind of
I'll take a hard Lincoln. Yeah.
Some kind of sexual position.
It sounds like an ass play position. Like
for sure if you're going to take a hard Lincoln.
Why don't you give me the hard Lincoln? Why don't you give me the hard Lincoln?
Boy, don't meme that, guys.
Don't meme hard Lincoln.
/ I
got a hard Lincoln today. I got a hard Lincoln. And also, like I like the femme voice that Daniel Day-Lewis did with Lincoln too, to match that whole thing.
But apparently that's how it was.
I know
it wasn't like he just made a choice.
Here's the thing: there was only like a couple documented circumstances in books that said he talked like that. If that wasn't, because there was no cameras or audio back then, if they didn't do that. If somebody didn't write that down in a book, you could have made Lincoln like a hard ass, like
like a hard
emancipation, motherfucker.
Take my hard Lincoln.
Yeah. But instead, somebody wrote in a biography somewhere that knew him was just like, oh, he had this very kind of high-pitched voice.
But it was everywhere.
I know.
Everyone said that's how he talked.
Well, there was like two people. Let's face it. It was the 50s, late 1850s.
Sure, there was only two people
in
the world.
Two people a lot. Like, who the fuck were they?
Sure.
And who outed them of like, oh, he had this really femme, high-pitched voice. Like, you could have said, no, Lincoln was a goddamn man. It was probably somebody who didn't like Lincoln.
Listen, we don't fact check here.
We don't fact check anything.
You know?
That could have been fake news. You know, you never know.
All the way back then.
All the way back then. Somebody who just had a vendetta against Lincoln was like, oh yeah, that motherfucker did all that awesome shit. He talked like a woman.
Dude, that'd be the best fucking.
Kind of like the ultimate like troll of all time, where you're like, oh man, did they fuck over Lincoln like that? But luckily DDL came out. Daniel Day-Lewis rocked the shit out of it.
Made it cool, kind of.
Yeah, so he made it cool. Yeah. So, look, if it weren't for Spielberg and DDL, I think that could have gone a different route. A different route, yeah.